Hello, children. I welcome you all to the online class. Today's memory verse is You shall cry out, and the Lord will say, Here I am. So, if we cry out, God will say, Here I am, means here He is. So, if we ask anything when we are in trouble or pain, if we ask anything to God, He will answer everything to us. He will tell us He is there for us. Isaiah 58:9. You shall cry out, and the Lord will say, Here I am. Okay, now we'll go to our lesson, that is Science Term 3, and we are dealing the first lesson, our environment. In the last class, we have learned what is environment, what are the things we have seen, and natural things, man-made things we have seen. Also, we have learned what are the environmental factors. So in that we have seen the living things, non-living things, and biotic factors means living things, abiotic factors, non-living things, and we have seen the difference between biotic and abiotic factors. Biotic factors, abiotic factors. Biotic means living, abiotic means non-living. Biotic, they can breathe and grow. Abiotic, they cannot breathe and grow. Biotic, they need food to live. Abiotic, they do not need food to live. Biotic, they can feel. Abiotic, they cannot feel. Biotic, they give birth to young ones. Abiotic, they do not give birth to young ones. And next thing what we saw that plants cannot move around like animals, but they grow, and the shoots show movements towards the sun. So they grow, and the shoot means the stem, leaves, everything, it will grow towards the sunlight, right? So plants are also biotic factors. Biotic means living, that's why plants are biotic. Amoeba is an unicellular organism. Unicellular means one cell, only one cell it will be having, and it has the ability to alter its shape, means it can change its shape. It was discovered in 1755. And today's class we are going to learn the interaction between biotic and abiotic factors, means how biotic and abiotic factors are interlinked together. Okay, so let's see. All biotic factors depend upon abiotic factors for their living. Biotic and abiotic factors are linked to each other by the flow of energy through food. Plants are the most important among all the living organisms because they only can make food from abiotic factors like air, soil, water, and sunlight. A few examples for interaction between biotic and abiotic factors are given below. So first thing what they said, what we have learned, plants are the main important biotic factors because these are the sources from where we get food. For every biotic organism we have to get food from plants only. So, and these plants depend on abiotic factors like water, soil, air, and sunlight for preparation of food. So plants need air, which is abiotic, soil, water, sunlight, these all are abiotic, only plants are biotic. Okay, now let's see. Human beings means we need plants to eat, water to drink, air to breathe, animals to eat, and sunlight we need. So these are the biotic and abiotic factors which human beings, that is we need. Okay, so here we are interacting with biotic and abiotic factors. And birds, see here, birds need air, trees, because birds will, the house of birds is trees, water, sunlight, insects to eat. Next, insects need soil, air, small creatures to eat, and plants, right? This is the way biotic and abiotic factors are interlinked. Okay, now from the above picture we understand that plants need water, soil, air, and sunlight to live. Now what about birds? Birds need sunlight, water, air, trees, insects. Insects need air, soil, plants, small creatures. Human beings, air, water, plants, animals, and sunlight. Next topic is balanced ecosystem. So, let's imagine an environment where there are only plants, deer, and lions. What will happen to the deer if we remove all the lions? What will happen? Think. What will happen to the plants if there are no lions to eat the deer? If all the plants are eaten, what will happen to the deer? So you understood? So only deer is there and lions are not there. Deer, what will happen to the deer? So many deers will be coming, right? Number of deers. And if plants, what will happen to the plants if there are no lions to eat the deer? So all the deers will eat plants, right? All the plants will be eaten by the deer. And if all the plants are eaten, what will happen to the deer? So all the plants were eaten by the deer. Now from where the deer will feed next time? Where it will get food? So there should be a balanced food chain. Means, so deer should be killed by the lion so that deer will be limited. There will not be more number. So if deer will be killed by the lion, lions kill the little deer, so deers will be becoming lesser in number, right? The same way, if deers become lesser, the plants will be growing, because lesser deers will get the food by the plants, so the plants will be growing nicely. All plants cannot be killed. Okay, so there should be some food chain, some balanced food chain. So it is important for the food chain to exist in an ecosystem to make sure that the energy flows between the biotic and abiotic factors. A balanced ecosystem supports plants, animals, and microorganisms to grow in their environment. An ecosystem is balanced when the biotic and abiotic factors are able to cycle the energy and food as per their need. So there should be one cycle, right? There should be one cycle like this. So the deer should be less in number, lion should be less in number, plant should be less in number, so that all will grow together like this. Okay, so this is called balanced ecosystem. Okay, so we'll see here the biotic factors in an ecosystem include producer, consumer, decomposers. Three important biotic factors are observed: producers, consumers, and decomposers. We'll see now what are producers. The living things that can prepare their own food are called producers. So their own food, who is preparing? Green plants. Plants prepare their own food. By what? We have learned in the second term, by the process called photosynthesis. Hence they are called primary producers because they prepare their own food. Humans and animals depend on plants for their food. So we and animals, we depend on the plants for the food. A few plants do not produce their food and they depend on other plants. Okay, they do not produce. They are called parasitic plants, which depend on other plants are called parasitic plants. The example is Cascata. Okay, now next, consumers. Consumers means what? The living things that eat the food prepared by the producers. Now plants are the producers, right? So the living things that eat the food prepared by the plants are called consumers. Okay, most of the living things depend directly or indirectly on producers for their food. consumers can be divided into three types based on their food. As herbivores means plant eating animals. Okay, only these animals will eat only plants. Carnivores means flesh eating animals. Okay, means they feed on the animals. Next, omnivores means both plant and animals it will be eating. So herbivores means this rabbit, elephants, deer, these all things, cow, these all things eat only plants. Carnivores means lion, tiger, these all will not eat plants, they will eat animals. So they are called carnivores. Omnivores means crow, bear, including we also will eat plants, both plants and animals, right? So we are called omnivores. Okay. Now the last one is decomposers. So decomposers are organisms that feed on waste, dead plants and animals. Okay. So waste, dead plants, animals are called decomposers. So if we see like if one plant is died, okay, keep one plant in a pot, and if it is died, what will happen after few days? That plant slowly after a few days it cannot be seen. The plant you cannot see, it get dries up and it gets died into the soil. It will go, right? How can it go? We cannot see anything. We cannot see the plant fully after few days. How? Because of the decomposers means bacteria. What they will do? They will feed on that waste materials, dead plants, animals, dead animals. They will feed on that and they will eat that animals and dead waste. Okay. That is why after few days we will not find that. Okay. So these decomposers, after eating, they return the nutrients to the soil. So after eating, it will, the soil wherever the decomposers took the food like waste, where they ate that food, that soil will become nutritious. Okay, more nutritious. Okay. Examples are bacteria, fungi. Decomposers examples, bacteria, fungi. Okay, children, understood? So, we have learned mainly about producer, consumers and decomposers in this topic. And today's assignment, I hope you all understood. So, today's assignment, see here, there are some biotic factors here. Producers, consumers and decomposers, and here are the list of few things, and you have to arrange these things according to the biotic factor. Okay, tulsi means, what is that tulsi? Fungi, what is the fungi? Producer, consumer or decomposer? Mango tree is a producer, consumer or decomposer? You have to arrange this and send me through WhatsApp. Okay, children, understood? I hope you all understood this lesson. Thank you.